Sorry about that. We were having some technical difficulties, but we are back. So, just to bring you back up to speed, we were talking about the symptoms of the Wonder Woman syndrome, aka the strong woman syndrome. I called it the Wonder Woman syndrome because I'm a single mother, and I felt like at one point in my life I was the Wonder Woman. You know, just doing everything. Nobody can tell me anything. I wouldn't didn't want to ask for help. I felt like I just had to take care of everything because that is expected of me as a woman and being a single mother. And then I learned that it's toxic. So we're here expanding on that Wonder Woman syndrome, and I have with me Miss Candy Howard.
Hello again, everybody. Let's tune me back in. Thank you for being patient.
Yes. So we're just gonna go ahead and start where we left off, just talking about the symptoms. We were just in a conversation about what society tells us, or the pressures that we deal with as women in society, being that we have to have it all together. We gotta look all together every day, every time, and that's a little unrealistic.
And I think the other thing we were saying after continuing the conversations about the society is the inability to show emotions. That when women express their emotions, it's a sign of weakness, or that we're out of control. And with such a competitive world with male genders, that showing vulnerability is actually a strength. But society is telling us that it's a weakness. It's funny that you did call it Wonder Woman. For some people that sat through some of my trainings, I don't know if you guys can see this. It might not be because of the light. But that is, what the picture shows is that it's a woman. And at the bottom, if you see it, she has a costume. And I don't know if she's taking the costume, putting it on, or taking it off. But for so many, in the title of it, it says I am more than. But for so many years, I was wearing that Wonder Woman costume. And nobody's seen those wounds on my back. And the more times as a woman that we mask ourselves, the deeper the wounds got. And the deeper the wounds got, the inability of them to heal. Because I continue to mask it. I continue to show up the way society expected me to show up. I continue to repress my emotions because I felt like expressing myself would show weakness. Or this is the way I was supposed to do because I was raised to not talk about things. Bad things that happened to me or my family or my mom, that we're just supposed to get over it. And what we were talking about earlier is that some of it for black women is rooted in trauma and slavery, that we did these things out of survival. We couldn't process our emotions. We had to go on and be the protector and that shield for our entire family, including the man. And in some way that we continue to operate out of survival mode. And so what we need to do is be able to step back and show the love and the nurturance that we give to others. How do we start to put that mirror up and give it to self and be able to show these wounds? So my Wonder Woman now looks different. My Wonder Woman is taking her costume off and she's showing these wounds. And these wounds are saying that this is a part of me. And it's a part of my story. It's a part of my journey. I'm not afraid to show some of my damaged petals, per se, and I'm not afraid to show some vulnerability.
Yes. That is also something that I learned in my journey of healing. That vulnerability is a superpower.
It's a superpower.
And I think Brene Brown, she speaks a lot about vulnerability. So I've learned how to be confident in that, and being authentic, and being just being open to sharing myself. And to some people it makes them feel uncomfortable, but it's just like, this is my truth, I'm gonna live it, and if that makes you feel uncomfortable, that's not my problem.
Yeah. And it's a journey, like you said. I love that everything that we do is a journey, and it's not a one and done. There's no ending to healing. There's no ending to self. There's no ending to your journey to authenticity. I think when you're anchored in authenticity, you have the confidence to say, this is all of me, and all of me is includes some prosperity, but also includes some wins.
So, for those of you who are tuning into the second part, we talked about some of the symptoms being just, being a perfectionist, always needing to be in control, always having to be right. You don't really take time to um, recognize or be grounded in the accomplishments that you achieve at that certain time without moving forward. Um, you don't like to ask for help. You're aggressive. Um, you overwork yourself. And I can say that I had that really bad, the no days off mentality, where I felt like I always had to be doing something because it made me seem like I was being productive.
Busyness.
Right.
Filling yourself with
busybody, right? The positive busybody.
Yeah.
But and I learned that that was also toxic as well, because I did find myself coming into a breakdown mentally, because I wasn't taking that break. I wasn't taking time to address how I was feeling, what I was dealing with during the week with situations at work, personal, home, family, and I was just going. And it was bad. It was bad, and I was down for some days actually, because I was doing the no days off. I wasn't even really eating. I wasn't paying attention to, what I was putting into my body. I just felt like, oh, I'm getting a paycheck. I'm good. I got my nails done. I got my hair done. I'm good. But really, I wasn't. Internally, I wasn't. I was unhappy. I was breaking apart in the inside. And that's a lot that we don't really talk about because of that stigma of, you're supposed to have it all together. I'm a woman, I gotta have it all together.
And we just gotta move on. There's a book called The Body Keeps the Score, and it talks about that. And even though we think that we're dealing with some of our emotions or adversities or our trials and tribulations, and there's a false sense of self that I'm getting through it, your body's gonna tell you something different. Stress is held in our bodies, held in our mind. If you are having pains in your neck, you can tell where the tension is held. For me, it caused me to have some autoimmune issues when my body's actually started to attack itself. I had early stages of arthritis that's really aggressive. So for me, those are all signs that I started to be impacted by the Wonder Woman syndrome of doing too much for others and not enough for self, or the busyness. And my busyness wasn't, I never was the type to quit a job first, because to me, a job is just that, it's a job, and you're replaceable to them. They made a statement, I think on Facebook, that said they would post your job description before they post your obituary. They'll post your job description before they post your obituary. So giving your all to a job when you're not thinking about family, you're not thinking about self, is just not healthy for anybody, any gender, non-gender conforming, woman, man, whoever. But the busyness of, let me get another degree, let me climb this career ladder, let me pick up this other project, because if I'm staying busy, I don't have to be stuck with me. And when you look at me and deal with my emotions, and what helped me in my journey to healing is the book by Sister Ayana I can never pronounce her last name, but it's called In the Meantime. And she just talked about these transitions of life, and that we have to kind of clean out our basement. And that basement is where there's some dark things that we buried deep down. And in order to be in a journey of healing and health, that we got to deal with those things, and that we got to resurface some of those dark areas. And I went through that journey in that book with her, and I started to allow myself, John Gray says this, building yourself by facing yourself. I think that's how he said it. It's like the best way, that you have to face yourself. And it's almost like stepping outside your body and really looking into yourself. And the good and the bad, the ugly, the skeletons that we buried, I had to dig all those things off. So I think about the analogy of going to a dentist. A dentist is not going to put a beautiful crown on top of the cavity. Right? He's not going to crown a cavity. He's going, speaking of, we just talked about her getting her tooth. But he has to get out the damaged thing. And if the damage goes too deep, it starts to damage a nerve, and that nerve becomes permanent. So he's going to dig out the damaged thing before he crowns it. We are so busy of crowning it because that feels better, it looks better, that we don't want to dig out the cavity. And so those are the things that I had to deal with my cavities, I had to deal with my basements, I had to use different books, and I had to spend time just with self.
Yes, same here, girl. I had to have those little books in the mirror and be like, messed up.
Yeah. And that's okay.
And that's okay.
That's okay.
Yes, it's okay. And we also want to let it be known that healing is available available to you. You can overcome this with proper coping mechanisms that we're going to touch a little lightly on today as well. But I think that it's important to be authentic with yourself and to have self-evaluation. If you're someone that following me on my social media page on Instagram, Persuader_beauty, I have like a different theme for certain days of the week. And Sundays are like serene Sundays or self-care Sundays. And those are like my days of where I do have I set a time for self-evaluation. I evaluate how I felt throughout the week whenever I was dealing with challenges at work, at home. I evaluate myself. And I think that's important, especially being a mom, because, we're also told that we just have to give ourselves to our children all the time. And that means neglecting self. And I don't think that that's healthy either, because if you're not well, you can't give to someone else if you're not full. And that includes your family, your children. You need to be happy. You need to be okay with your routine and what it is that you're going about in your daily journey with when it concerns your children, because they're watching, they see that, and then that could also trickle down to them. So it's
It's
important.
a learning opportunity for the kids, though. Is that transparency that parents need a break too, and so that we all take time just to slow down our body, and not. I want to ask sister, not just for self-evaluation, but there's power in just slowing down the process and being in the moment. We are going from task to task, thing to thing, the next list that we have to do, and we don't take an opportunity and just say, man, thank you God for waking me up this morning. How beautiful is the sun? Do you